Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
And thanks for joining us for this edition of the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, and in a moment we'll be joined by our City Manager, Mark Roloff. In the first half of today's show, we'll have some municipal news updates, including information from city departments. And in the second half, we'll highlight some items from the upcoming Tuesday, September 10th, Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda. And with that, we bring in our City Manager, Mark Roloff. Mark, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here, Andy.
All right. Well, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of things going on in Oshkosh right now. So we wanted to make mention that there's been some discussion that there's a need for a fourth ambulance unit for the Oshkosh Fire Department. If we can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Chief Mike Stanley has made some presentations to council, and over the last 5 years, our call volume has increased by over 16%, and that is a trend that continues to accelerate. And a lot of people don't realize we provide services to a lot of our surrounding townships, as well as Village of Winneconne, City of Omro. Mm-hmm. And so that number is increasing across the board. And to meet these growing community needs, the council's directed staff to add a fourth ambulance unit to our fire department effective July 1, 2025. And obviously, something like this is going to have a direct impact on the cost to the City of Oshkosh taxpayers, and in turn, our municipal partners, because they're part of our service area. And with these growing costs, the council felt it was appropriate that they directed us that the full share of these EMS costs should be allocated proportionally to all the municipalities, not just the City of Oshkosh, that are benefiting from this service, so as not to burden city taxpayers. They want to make sure that it's being fair to everybody.
Right, and of course we remain committed to providing high quality EMS services to our municipal partners as well as to our city residents, as we have done for 2 decades now.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 2 decades, and we do provide a quality service, and I think the surrounding municipalities recognize that. But we have to be we have to think about safety and cost issues, and so having everybody proportionally pay their share seems to be the right thing to do.
Okay, very good. All right, then we also wanted to make mention that the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is beginning construction work over at State Highway 91, and that's sort of on the southwest side of Oshkosh, far southwest side.
Yeah, it is. Highway 91 heads out from Highway 44 out to the Berlin area, but at Clairville Road going west all the way out to Highway 116 in Waukau, that's going to be closed and detoured beginning Monday, September 9th, and it's probably going to be going until late October. And it's part of a $1 million contract to improve bridge, culvert, and railroad structures within this project limit.
Yeah. And I know that there's been some concern about that culvert that they're doing. I don't know if you have any background on that.
Well, yeah, I do, quite a bit. And it's a bit of a bone of contention that we've had with the DOT, because their concern, rightfully so, is that there's parts of that area just immediately west of Clairville that the water tops over periodically. And so they want water off their road, and we understand that. But their solution was to increase the size of the culvert, and they did zero analysis about what the impact would be downstream to the City of Oshkosh. And we did our own research, and we showed them the data, and we actually showed them that given the numbers that the calculations that we ran, that areas like Washburn Avenue, right near adjacent to Interstate 41, could be overtopped perhaps even more frequently than Highway 91. DOT doesn't care about local roads, they only care about their state highways, so they've essentially ignored any downstream impact, saying that's not our responsibility. And I just respectfully disagree with that. We fought this for a long time, not because we don't think this improvement's important. I think it is. but the impact downstream has been ignored, and it's going to undo some of the investment we've made with our stormwater areas because they refuse to take a look at alternatives to minimize the impact downstream. And I'm very disappointed in the DOT over this.
Yeah. Well, they're specifying a detour route for this, utilizing County Highway M and State Highway 44. So that's the official route.
That's the official route. So, obviously there are other routes because the DOT tries to keep you on state highways, and Highway 44 is to the south, but it goes all the way down to Pickett. So, I think some of our more astute residents and people that commute into Oshkosh will probably use 20th Avenue, which is much closer, or 9th Avenue. So there's other alternatives. You don't have to follow the official detour route. That's just what they recommend for trucks and things like that. But if you're a wise commuter, I would say 20th Avenue is a better bet. But that's Mark's advice, not the DOT's advice.
Okay, well, that's practical advice.
Yeah.
So, and of course, that construction is expected to finish in late October of this year. And the Wisconsin Department of Transportation has a website where they have a lot more information, all the details about this project, and that website is linkable through the city's website and the Hot Topics section.
Yeah, there's one more thing I think is important to point out. Even though Clairville Road for the most part won't be impacted by this, there will be a time because there's that railroad crossing right at Clairville and Highway 91. So for the most part it's going to be open, but when they have to make sure the tracks are paved over properly, there will be a portion of Clairville Road closed when the railroad crossing is getting done. So you may have to keep your eye out for that. All the more reason that don't get yourself right up to the beginning of the detour route. If you're heading west to, Waukau or Berlin, just take 20th Avenue to get out, and then you'll be fine and you'll be happy. But that part of Clairville, even though Clairville Road is now open between 20th and 91, because we had some construction there that closed that road, that's open now. But I would say to avoid you getting stuck the day they decide to do the railroad crossing, I'd say take 20th.
Okay, perfect. Good advice. All right. We also wanted to talk about a couple other construction updates besides Highway 91. Over at Wagoo Avenue, we can celebrate that the street is open.
It sure is. This is between North Main Street and Mill Street. It's fully reopened to traffic, so we're real happy that it's been done, and I think the video can demonstrate that we've this was one of our projects that got done early because we started earlier, and so I think this started, early in the spring. But now it's wide open. There's just so much more wonderful. And then for the folks on the east end of Wagoo, just be patient. That's a project that's upcoming. But we got it pretty much up to Mill Street, so practically to Bowen Street. So we're real happy about that. That project consisted of concrete pavement and sidewalk, as you can see. But underneath the ground, there's a lot of storm sewer, sanitary sewer, water main relay, as well as some electrical work. And we always say it's not just about the street; it's about everything below it. Some of those sewers dated back to the 1880s, so well overdue for replacement, and we're really happy. And it looks great, and it drives great, which is I know what most people are thinking about. Even though we got to worry about everything underground, I'm sure people appreciate every time they turn on their water in the morning.
There's a lot to be concerned with a project like that. And also over at Cherry Street, kind of by the UW Oshkosh campus area, there's been some work going on there to reconstruct that street.
Yeah, this project started a little later, so it'll finish a little later, but the contractor's going to be continuing to work on water and sewer laterals along with the storm sewer for the rest of September, and then the paving is tentatively scheduled to begin the week of September 30th. Let's cross our fingers, and Cherry Street is set to be fully open by mid-November.
Yeah, and for any of these projects, if you would like to find out more details and about traffic restrictions, you can find the link to that information in the Hot Topics section on the city's website. And you can find this detailed map where you can dial in some details on exactly what's all going on. Also, we wanted to note that Public Works Director James Robbie has recorded an informational video highlighting the 2025 proposed capital improvements plan that also can be accessed through the city's website, and that's on the Public Works Capital Improvements page, as well as through the Oshkosh Media YouTube channel.
Yeah, and you'll get an opportunity to see what street projects are upcoming in 2025. So get ready, because the orange barrels will be coming to a neighborhood near you as well. Mm-hmm. And we just want everybody to be aware of it so they can make appropriate plans and whatnot. So, projects are going along quite well, and we're pleased with the progress.
Mm-hmm. Well, we never stop with road construction projects. Every year there's always something, so we'll keep everyone up to date. Okay, then, kind of speaking about, it's not always about the road, but what's under the road. Part of that is our water infrastructure, and the deadline for free water service line inspections is September 15th, and this is for homeowners to have the service lines inspected that come into their home.
Yeah, this is an issue that we're concerned about. Lead water pipes, we want people to be aware of it, and we want to maintain a record of how those things are, because the Environmental Protection Agency, the federal government, and the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, DNR, they mandate that the Public Works Department must complete a database of all our lead water service lines within the city by mid-September. And there's no safe level of exposure to lead. So you want to find out what your water service lines are made of, and you can sign up for a free inspection or self-submit your service line itself. We really do need some cooperation and this information so that we can take care of this. So it's really easy. You can go to OshkoshWater.com to sign up for an inspection. We'll be happy to come out there. Or you can take a look at the instructions on the website. You can do your self-inspection and just say, I don't have lead water pipes. Reporting that you have lead water pipes doesn't trigger anything, except that we now know that you have that, and so we'll be on the lookout. And as education comes out, we want you to be aware of those types of things. Federal government's very concerned. Like I said, there's no safe level of exposure to lead, so it really is in your best interest, especially if you have younger children, you want to do this, but there's no good safe amount of lead for anybody, regardless of age. So please take a look at this information and get this inspection done for yourself. Mm-hmm.
It's very important, and we do urge our residents to have those water lines inspected. All right, well, changing gears here a little bit, over at the Oshkosh Public Library, they always have a lot going on over at the library. It's not just your basic library, and they have a photography exhibit called Oshkosh Quiet.
Yeah, photographer Michael Esslinger really captures the essence of our city with this year's theme. Mm-hmm. And his images that you're going to see at the library grace the walls of the first floor reading room, and we're not going to tease you with those. We want you to come in and take a look at them. Mm-hmm. And Michael's work will be on display starting September 7th through October 18th. So you got about 6 weeks to take a look at these wonderful photographs of Oshkosh. You may see a lot of areas that you recognize, which would be wonderful, but we want you to check out the Oshkosh Public Library. And if you're there and you want to check out the photography exhibit, you may want to check out the services and just all the offerings that the Oshkosh Public Library has. I think we have one of the best libraries in the state of Wisconsin, and the best way for you to prove me right or prove me wrong is go visit it and tell me what you think.
Sure. And even start off by visiting their website and learn a little bit more through the website, and you can explore from there and then visit the library after that. All right, then we also wanted to make note that as our projects are wrapping up for our public works projects, our parks department's been busy. Over in South Park, there's been a trail that's been completed, some updates and renovations.
Yeah, the pavement isn't as elaborate as some of our street projects, but over in South Park, there's a stretch of about 400 feet along the north corridor from the horseshoe pit past the tennis and pickleball courts. That's been restored and is now open for public use. And so it's just wonderful that you're able to kind of traverse the park and see everything that South Park has to offer. And then meanwhile, over at Rouge Park, there's a section between Newport Avenue and Rougefield Drive that's been reconstructed with new concrete and asphalt sections, and this really enhances the trail for multi-use. And so it's a great connection. I know the kids use it on the way to school and things like that, so we're really pleased with that. So those are a couple of the trail projects we got going on. And then meanwhile, the Parks Department, even though Pollock Community Water Park is closed for the season, the Parks Department's getting ready for next year, and they're replastering the very popular zero depth pool. It gets so much use it's got to get replastered, and that'll continue throughout the fall, so that come springtime it'll be all ready to go and get it filled up, and the families can enjoy the zero depth pool again. So we've got our event sponsor for this year, Winnebago Community Credit Union, and a lot of the funding for the replastering comes from a fund that's over at the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation. So we want to thank the Community Foundation. They have been a huge partner for the water park since it was refurbished and reopened almost 20 years ago now. So we want to thank the Community Foundation for their generous donations to support improving Pollock Community Water Park and just keep it in good shape.
Yeah, maintenance is important.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, and then also over at the Leach Amphitheater, an annual event, a very popular annual event is coming up, the annual Touch a Truck. Yeah,
it's coming back. It's the new generation of kids always is interested in this. It's this year's event's going to be on Saturday, September 21st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Kids of all ages can climb in, sit on trucks, honk horns, and just discover trucks and heavy equipment of all shapes and sizes. And then there's also a bounce house, interactive play areas, games, raffles, food trucks, so much more. Encourage families to come check it out. It's a wonderful free event, and but volunteers are still needed, and if you want to help out, you'll get a big kick out of watching the kids and the families enjoy themselves. But if you're interested in helping out, give Kathy Snell a call. Her number is 920-232-5304. So give Kathy a call and let her know you'd be willing to help.
Yeah, always a great event over there at Touch a Truck. And again, that's Saturday, September 21st. So we encourage everybody to bring your family and go and check it out. All right, and then we just wanted to pass along a reminder that this upcoming week here is the residential curbside brush collection. Yeah,
it's normally the first full week of the month, but when there's a holiday like we had with Labor Day, it's moved back 1 week. So you didn't miss an opportunity if you were away and didn't clean up yard waste. But yard waste, like brush and leaves, they must be in biodegradable bags or bundled up and tied. The brush should be less than 3 inches in diameter, not exceed 50 pounds, 4-foot lengths. No grass, root balls, or stumps. That's for the curbside collection. You can still continue to go over to the area off of 3rd Avenue to drop off if you've got a yard waste sticker. We encourage you to do that as well if you can't get it out there for brush collection week. But we have this on your regularly scheduled garbage day, so look for that for the week of September 9th.
Okay, very good. And then, Mark, I think we'll just keep it right here, and we'll transition right into a discussion about the upcoming Tuesday, September 10th, Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda. And that meeting will be held on Tuesday, September 10th at City Hall, 215 Church Avenue, beginning at 6 p.m. And we'll take a look at some of the agenda items. So we have One thing that actually I'm somewhat familiar with, working in the Oshkosh Media division here, there is a drone that is being donated by the Friends of Oshkosh Community Media.
Yeah, Oshkosh Media, as you guys well know, is a wonderful support group for Oshkosh Media. And oftentimes they'll identify equipment that might help improve our quality of production. And I really think that it adds more depth to what we already do in telling our story with Oshkosh Media. So here's an example of the drone. It looks bigger in that picture than it really is, but the drone, this is the current drone we have, but we're getting another one donated thanks to the generosity of Friends of Oshkosh Media. And you may have just taken these for granted, but if you noticed, over the last couple of years since we got this first drone, that we can add so much depth to our storytelling with the use of the drone, whether it's action pictures like this or even just pictures of progress on our city street projects. We can show you kind of live action what's going on the day of, and really get a good bird's eye view of what's going on, whether a project's underway or near completion. Really gives you the extra information that is so helpful. So we're very appreciative of the donation, and I know that the Oshkosh Media folks, Scott and Jake, will make very good use of this, and we'll be able to use it in future editions of the City Manager's Report, along with all the other stuff we do with Oshkosh Media.
Absolutely. We already used it earlier in the show today when we showed Wagoo Avenue and some of those other parks and different things. So
yeah, those are great
very
examples.
Useful.
Yeah.
All right. Then we also wanted to mention there is another agenda item this is dealing with a third floor addition, and I believe this is the new hospital over next to the Fox River.
Yeah, this is the Theta Care Micro Hospital, and they've already, I think, seen the demand for medical offices that want to locate there, that they've now added a third story addition that they showed to the Plan Commission. They were very receptive to it. So this is just the plan amendment to add this, and so you haven't seen it because it hasn't really gone up yet, but they're ready to go with a third story. So we're really excited that they have so much faith in the Oshkosh community that they're going to aggressively add that third floor even before the project really gets started.
Good to see, and we'll be keeping an eye on that project as it progresses. All right, and then we have some pending ordinances, the first of which is a change to Oshkosh Municipal Code pertaining to fireworks.
And this is something that the council's been discussing over the past month or so, and they want to take a very strong stand because of the use of illegal fireworks and just how disruptive it is to people. And a lot of people think that because they can buy these fireworks over in like the town of Oshkosh, that they can take them anywhere. You really can't, but it's sort of a loophole in the state law. But they bring them into town and they blow them off, and the council wants to draw a very definite line. And they've asked us to create a tiered fine system that takes it up to after a third violation of $1,000. So they're not joking around. And then a separate tier for juveniles that'll max it out at $500. Now it won't start at $500, but it'll build its way up, and it's really designed to create a disincentive for people to do this. So we just want to forewarn everybody that that's an issue that we're going to take seriously.
Absolutely. I know that there's been discussion on that topic. All right, and then we also have an item relating to a zone change, and this is over at the former Washington School site on Winnebago Avenue.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while, and this is the final step in the zone change itself. But the city, along with Habitat for Humanity, have acquired the former Washington School site. So this is how the site looks right now, and we've got a vision for about 19 different parcels that will be used for single-family homes to be compatible with that single-family neighborhood. This is a concept plan only, but we're working on it. And this is really just to start the process to get it zoned properly for single-family residential use.
Okay, very good. And then we also have, actually we're approving a liquor license.
Yes, well, this is something that has been discussed. We have a quota on the number of licenses we can issue. And there are some things that can get done when we've reached that quota, but until we have issued all of our license under our quota, we can't use some of those other flexibilities. And the reason the council is interested in this is we have actually 5 applicants for liquor licenses, but only 2 available licenses under our quota. So the idea is to start the process to issue these licenses so that we can reach our quota, have them all issued, and then revisit, are there any things we can do to assist the other applicants who may not get it. So we've identified one that we're ready to move forward with, and we're going to be recommending that. That's for Flights, which is the former Brooklyn Bar over there on South Main Street. They've already opened, but they only have what's called a Class B fermented malt beverage, Class C wine. They would like the full contingent of liquor to be able to sell, but they need what's called a combination Class B license. And given the fact that they're already open, they're a known entity, a known quantity, that we felt that we're comfortable recommending that the council award this one. And then we'll take a look and bring another one forward. We're working on those applications at this time.
All right. And then we also have an item, approval of some plans for an athletics facility at 108 West New York Avenue. And I believe that this is part of the Val Phillips School, I guess you could call it, campus.
It is part of the campus, and I know the school district was dealing with some of the issues because of the historic nature of Merrill School, but as part of providing a full campus for the Val Phillips Middle School, and now it's double the size of what it used to be from a middle school standpoint. Athletic facilities are very important. Think of other middle schools we have in town where they have these types of athletic facilities. The kids that go to Val Phillips have just as much a right to have a good quality educational as well as physical educational experience. So essentially what the school district did was they swapped out the old field for where Val Phillips is, and so now they need to put the field safely across the street where this is. So this gives you the subject site, and this is their plan for the athletic facility right there on the former Merrill School site. If you haven't driven by there, you'll notice that it's been fenced off because they're getting ready for the demolition of it. And I don't know all the details because it's the school district's property. The city doesn't have that much say in this matter. It's really just a land use application, just like a private entity would. So I understand they're going to take some archways from Merrill School to make sure that they still honor the history of Merrill School, why it was created, who it was named after, to make sure we appreciate the history of it. But it is an issue that the school district felt strongly about having those athletic facilities available because these middle schools have soccer teams and things like that, and so they do need this for their whether it's intramurals or the competitive between different schools. They need to have a facility, and with that big a school, they're going to need an even bigger facility. So you can see it's designed for football and soccer and things like that. So they made a presentation. I think overall it was well received, and they'll be starting shortly after the demolition of the school itself with getting this site developed.
And it's pretty typical for that type of facility to be located alongside the school.
Yeah,
which it would be in this case.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people thought, well, couldn't they put that over at East Hall? But then you're crossing Jackson Street. That's technically a U.S. highway, very busy street, a lot of traffic volume. Kentucky is more a residential area, lower traffic volumes and things like that. And they've existed quite well when it was Merrill School, and on the other side of Kentucky was the athletic fields. So they're just swapping it back and forth. I think overall it's a good land use, and I think it's a right thing for the community, especially for the Val Phillips School community.
Sure. All right, well, thank you very much for the detail on that topic and everything else today, Mark. We appreciate you being here.
It's always a pleasure, Andy. Thanks.
And thank you for joining us today as well. Please join us again for an upcoming City Manager's Report. And also join us for the Oshkosh Common Council meeting, which is at 6 p.m. this Tuesday, September 10th at City Hall, which is at 215 Church Avenue. You can watch that live on GovTV, which is Spectrum Channel 10, UVerse Channel 99, and streaming on YouTube and OshkoshMedia.org. Or you can listen on the radio. That's Oshkosh FM 101.9, which is also online and on the TuneIn Radio app for phones and tablets. You can use your favorite TV streaming device, including Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV. Just search for the Oshkosh Media app and you'll be all set. You can also visit the Oshkosh Media YouTube channel for all the archives of past meetings. So please join us again in 2 weeks for another City Manager's Report. Thanks for watching.